Hi, welcome back. Okay, in this video, I'm just going to take a couple minutes to review how to simplify square roots. Obviously, not all square roots are perfect squares, but they all still need to be simplified. And so I just want to take a few minutes to give you a quick review on what I think is the easiest way to do that. So to start, I'm just going to list the first few, maybe the first 12 perfect squares. I think it's a good idea if you want to pause the video and write them down so you have them readily accessible, or at least know how to find these quickly so that if you needed to jot them down on the side of your paper, you know how to do it. So just give me a second and I'm going to list the first 12 perfect squares. Okay, I'm back. And so here I have listed the first 12 perfect squares. So take a minute, and like I said, if you want to pause the video and jot them down, I will also have a document posted on the website with all of these perfect squares as well. So whichever is easiest for you. So let's start by taking a look at an example and see how we can use these perfect squares to easily simplify square roots. So first we have the square root of 75. First thing you want to do is look at your list of perfect squares and you want to find the largest perfect square that goes into 75. So, just even jotting them down on the side, 16, 25, 36, 49, 28, 64, 81. And I really am only concerned about all of the numbers that are going to be less than 75, because obviously 81 is not going to go into 75. So if I work backwards almost from the largest number, so 64 does not go into 75, 49, 36, I know that 25 does. So I can rewrite the square root of 75 as the square root of 25 times the square root of 3. From there, I know that the square root of 25 is 5, so this becomes 5 root 3. So in two simple steps, the square root of 75 is equal to 5 root 3. I like this method. I know that some of you have done factor trees where you're taking 75 and you factor it, and then you find how many pairs of each number you have, but I think this way is short, quick, easy, and right to the point. So if you can learn how to simplify square roots this way, I think you'll be doing yourself a big favor because you'll be able to get to the final answer a lot easier. Let's take a look at another example. So I have the square root of 294. Now sometimes you might need your calculator to figure out which perfect square goes into 294, but just as a reminder, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121. I mean, the list you would obviously go on, but I would say try to start around here. 100 doesn't go in, 81 does not go in, 64 doesn't go in. We will see that 49 goes into 294, and 49 goes into 294 6 times. So here's where the calculator obviously would be a little helpful. You would just divide 294 by each of these numbers, and you would see that 49 goes in. Once we are able to rewrite 294 as the square root of 49 times the square root of 6, square root of 49 is 7. The square root of 6 cannot be simplified any further, so we see that the square root of 294 is equal to 7 root 6. Yeah. All right. So for the third example, I'm actually going to take a look at two different methods. What happens when I don't find that largest perfect square that goes into my number? So I'm going to, again, just real quick, just so we have them for reference, jot down our perfect squares. 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100. I'll stop there. And let's use 36. So we find that 36 goes into 288. So 288 is really the square root of 36 times the square root of 8. Okay. Now the square root of 36 is 6, so we have 6 root 8, but you'll notice that 8 also has a perfect square that goes into it. So 8 can actually be rewritten, the square root of 8 can actually be rewritten as the square root of 4 times the square root of 2. The square root of 4 simplifies to 2, and now I have the square root of 2, which cannot be simplified. So this all simplifies down to 12 root 2. So even if you don't find that largest perfect square that goes into a number, you will still eventually get to the final answer. It just may take you an additional step. If we look at the square root of 288 and go through our list of perfect squares and find the largest one that goes in, we can see that 144 goes into 288 twice, so we can rewrite that as the square root of 144 times the square root of 2, and then the square root of 144 is 12 times the square root of 2. So it does really help to know your perfect squares so that you can find the largest perfect square that goes into a number, but if you don't right away see that largest number, you will eventually get to the final answer. But that's pretty much a quick review on how I think, or what I think is the quickest way and easiest way to simplify square roots. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. I'll do my best to answer them if I can. Hopefully you found this video helpful so that you now know the easiest, quickest, simplest way to simplify square roots.